everybody out there, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Today is a special day as we are sitting here live in studio for a new talk show segment podcast with Jessica Johnson, No Longer Broken. We want to welcome her to the city of Indianapolis, bringing her newest talk show to the big screen. And we hope that you all stay tuned because she has some amazing things coming up. We are so excited to welcome her. You doing all right?
I am great.
Thank you. Talk show? Yes, sister, yes. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. So, hello, Indianapolis. I'm so happy that you all are taking the time to join this podcast. So again, as Terry mentioned, this is called No Longer Broken. We're going to be talking about discussions that has plagued the community and our families for generations, and we want to talk on these because the person next door, which is us, that how we have dealt with so many hardships in our families, and we just want to get them out more in the public, be more transparent about them so we can heal and be the best versions of ourselves. So this topic is called Unhealthy Relationships and Why We Stay. So with that, I have my special guest, Victoria.
Woo!
How are you?
I am good. I'm great. I'm so blessed to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So you are also the Black girl. And what does your shirt say? It says, dream all, what does it say?
Oh, dream all day, dance all night.
Hey, and everybody knows
right.
me. I'm a dancer, so I like to dance.
Nice. You're a big dreamer.
Nice. So we're going to be talking about unhealthy relationships, and because you and I go to the same church. Before I found out you moved during COVID, I know we shared some experiences, some conversations about unhealthy relationships that you and I both have been in our past. We're both moms, and the different triumphs that we had to overcome with doing those. So tell me a little bit about Victoria and Thoughts of a Black Girl.
Okay, well, so Thoughts of a Black Girl is my non-profit organization, and it is basically focused on the youth and the young adults and trying to change poverty mindset. I also have a podcast series, Thoughts of a Black Girl, that's on all podcast platforms as well, and
Nice.
page. So I'm very, open to everyone check that out. I incorporated a book that goes along with some of the things, the trials and tribulations we have talked about as far as what we relate to, Jessica, but also just things that I went through in my childhood. And that's going to be coming out, Victoria's testimony, this summer. So I'm going to definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Definitely want everybody to stay tuned to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what did you say the title of that book is called? What's the title of the book again?
Victoria's testimony.
Victoria's.
And it works because, Victoria means victorious.
Yes,
nice.
Victorious,
Yes, that is good.
Each situation.
Good. So let me share a little bit about me. So I started my not-for-profit, Blessed as I Am, in 2017, when we originally started collecting prom dresses to help donate to those girls in high school, junior and seniors in high school, their families was experiencing hardship. At that time, my twin daughters were juniors. And I had got to thinking, because I was going through financial hardship, and I was just like, gosh, this is, really struggling for me. How I'm going to, not one daughter, but two. But I was blessed that particular year that my younger brother actually helped. He came to me and was like, sis, you don't have to go through this alone. I will help you. And then being an involved parent, as I've always been in my children's lives, I seen the need, and so I started collecting prom dresses. But Blessed as I Am is also a nonprofit that wants to help support our youth. And I wanted to encourage them because as a teenager who was bullied, I understand that pain and that hurt, when you're getting bullied and picked on at school. And then again, I had some hardships going on at home that, again, goes with this topic, the unhealthy relationships and how do they stem. I just wanted to give back to the community. So that's what Blessed as I Am is. And now, starting this podcast, this is a big milestone for me. And what Blessed as I Am is working on right now, we are working on doing our first fashion show, September 2021.
Yes.
So Labor Day weekend, it is called Teen Fashion Week. We're looking for teen designers, teen models, teen vendors, teen MUAs, makeup artists, and Team Hairstylist. You can go to Eventbrite to look up to register, and it's Team Fashion Week on Eventbrite.com.
Now that's something that you and Regina Warren have.
Yes,
together, right?
Yes, Regina Warren. When I connected with her, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And when I started that, even with the prom dress, I wanted to do the fashion show back then. I didn't have the right connections. I didn't have the right resources. I got discouraged. I said, damn. I had prom dresses all over my living room and my son's room. Bedroom, where he was going off to college anyway. But they took over my house because I didn't get to donate like I wanted to. So that actually discouraged me, and I got, pretty disappointed about it. And so then I stopped. But I still always wanted to do the fashion show. That's really the heart of what the purpose of Blessed as I Am.
Nice.
Because again, we all have a sense of fashion. You have your fashion. She has hers. I'm being a little, dressed up.
And that's your daughter's too,
This
right?
is a collection made by Designs by Kiara Dominique. You can find her on Instagram, Kiara_Dominique. She did make this design. I didn't ask, but thanks for letting me wear this.
You ain't gotta ask, you mama girl.
Right, she left it in my house while she's at school. Youth, because my daughter is going to school at Ball State to get her degree in fashion and apparel. So yes. So moving forward with unhealthy relationships, growing up in my childhood, my mom actually was abused by my dad. My parents have been married for over 40 years. They're still married, still together, have 3 children. I'm the only girl, middle child. So I grew up experiencing a lot of abuse. There was drug abuse, there was the physical abuse, and there was sexual abuse. So growing up in that household really, lack of better terms, taught me not to value myself. So the term is actually also called helplessly learned. So we grow up, we're products of our environment. So we grow up learning things helplessly because we're the kids. We don't know what's really right. I mean, we do know because we feel the pain as a child, seeing your parent abused or your siblings or somebody's being abused by the parent or something. But as a woman, I grew up being in unhealthy relationships. I was never physically abused, but I was in relationships that were unhealthy because the guys never committed to me, or it was always men that approached me that were in relationships, whether I knew or not, but I still had to deal with that as a woman, facing like, why is he even approaching me if I even knew that he had? So having to battle that of like trying to stay away from those type of guys. But if a guy I didn't know, say it was an average guy, maybe, I'm out at the mall or the grocery store or something, then I meet a gentleman, may or may not, may exchange numbers. And so I start talking to this guy on the phone, maybe go on a couple of dates or something. And then I find out he's in a relationship. That's hurtful. That hurt me because I was under the impression that you wanted to, pursue something with me. And then again, being in unhealthy relationships where the guys were cheating and I stayed. So again, that's where a lot of this is stemming from. And then having 2 daughters, trying to mold them and teach them how to look out for those signs better and to have more self-aware of their self and self-worth and what I did and what I was exposed to.
Which is a good point too, because a lot of teens are dealing with those same type of issues out there, and they don't know how to talk about it. And they don't know how to, confront those issues, especially, being a child, you want to be respectful and mindful of, your parents, and things of that nature. However, it's, shows like these or, just any type of positive things that teens can be into, even going back to, Victoria's nonprofit as well, with you both doing things, to give back to the community, not just giving materialistic things, but giving spiritual guidance, giving, even if you're not a spiritual person, giving good guidance and letting them see.
I always like to call that wise counsel.
Exactly.
Giving
That's really all it is wise counsel.
Wise
for the ones that aren't too spiritual, just be wise and be in wisdom. And it's so funny because my mom always tells my kids, like, oh, wise, intelligent grandchildren. She's like, you got to speak it over them. It's like, even though, sometimes you want to knock their head off. But, it is good, to have programs like these because, people need hope out here.
Yes, we do. Especially during this pandemic.
The pandemic. I'm so tired of that word. I'm so tired of that word. COVID. I'm tired of
Rona, Kiki, whatever it is called. It is definitely a bummer.
So kids need an outlet.
Victoria, so Give us some insight on your background about, because you said your book is Victoria's Testimonies. So can you share with us what some of those testimonies is and your experience on being in an unhealthy relationship, and why did you stay? Just, give us a little bit of intel on that, and then what did that look like when you were raising your children?
Basically, it's similar to, like you had said, when you start your relationship off, your first relationship is what you see at home. So my first toxic, relationship of unhealthy relationships is watching my mother in some of her toxic relationships. Her being married over 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Always, switching up the men. I kind of used to calculate when I was younger. Every 5 years, there was a new man in our household that I was calling dad.
Yes.
So then, growing up as a teenager, I didn't know how to relate to what I was supposed to see as a father or as a relationship, not a healthy one. And so made some really bad decisions, ended up in a strip club at 18 years old. And that's where I met my ex-husband. And one of the things that I decided to do, even though it was a toxic relationship, I stayed in that relationship for over 14, 15 years because I just swore no matter what, I wasn't going to change men. Start having children. So it didn't matter how toxic it got. I just was like, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay in this relationship.
Because you didn't want to do what your mother did.
Right. Because I was basically just, I'm not going to be like her.
Yes.
And so I just decided to stay in a toxic relationship where he would not come home at night some weekends. Not, cheating, the verbal abuse and all those things. It took a big toll on my life. But then there is a time when I looked at my young girls, my son, and they would be scared about some of the fights we would have in front of them. And I had to take a stand at that point. Like, I don't want my kids to think this is the type of life they should subject themselves to. Right. No matter if it's a husband, their father, no matter who it is.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Because I remember having a conversation with my mom, and this was actually maybe within the last 5 years or so. Because now I've openly talked about the molestation and everything. And my mother asked me why I never told her. And I actually said, growing up, my father was beating you. I wouldn't have thought any different that you would have left. You didn't leave and protect yourself. Why would I feel that you were going to protect me because me telling you that he was molesting me? He was already beating her. He was already beating my brothers. Like, whenever my brothers would get disciplined, my father always took it too far. And so when my mom would try to intervene to protect that, he would turn around and beat her. So those nights he was creeping in my room, why would I think I was going to be protected? She was already allowing herself, to be beat down so much. And so I didn't have a mindset to think that she could protect me, because it was like all this abuse was going on anyway. What's the difference? The only difference was mine wasn't openly like theirs was. So yes, if they got into a fight and it turned physical, that was in front of the kids, or maybe we woke up and we heard it. Or if he was disciplining my brothers, and it got too far, we physically seen it, but they wouldn't seen him sneaking in my room at night. So that was the only difference. Outside of that, everything else to me was the same. He's doing this to everybody else, so, what was next? And so you made a good point when you said, I didn't want to be her, but then yet we still did things. We are, because remember I said I wasn't ever physically abused. Oh, no man never hit me.
That's the excuse.
But yet we still did other things that caused us to be in toxic and unhealthy relationships. We were like, I'm not going to beat her. I'm not going to let no man beat me. I'm not going to switch up this man every 5 years. So my children are going to see a revolving door like, oh, it's the time. Well, oh, that's it. That's Christmas. It's a new guy. But we stayed knowing they were cheating. They were unfaithful. They, the emotional abuse that tacked on to us, that we stayed because it was like,
but to branch off of that, that's why I think, like, for me, like, I've been in an unhealthy relationship before, and for me, it just was really like, I've never been one of those women that's like, well, if I were you, Or, I wouldn't stay if
that irks me.
Well, because I can't, I don't know what I'm willing to deal with. I can't say, like, I won't be like so-and-so, because you can only hope for the best.
Yes.
I think at some point, every single person walking this earth has been in an unhealthy relationship, whether it's with your boss at work, your children, your parents, your friends,
especially
just other human beings in general.
Yes.
And even realizing, sometimes that we can be unhealthy ourselves. And so that's why in between relationships, and especially with these teens, because, you can't tell them nothing, honey. They in love, honey. No. Y'all out there in love, okay?
Well, but I love him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what love is at 14, 15, 16 years old, and that magnitude of knowing what's worth somebody. Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited about this podcast. This is my first podcast, and I have my co-host, Terry Coney, my special guest, Ms. Victoria Smith, with Thoughts of a Black Girl.
Yes.
So when we left off, we're going to talk about the special surprise I have. So, you know how we got these, what's that? Man Crush Mondays. We got Women Crush Wednesdays.
Yep. Throwback Thursdays.
Oh, that's that Throwback Thursday. Well, we're going to start something new. We're going to give Tuesday a day. How about we're going to start Teen Crush Tuesday?
Yes.
Hashtag that. TCT. Yep, Teen Crush Tuesday. So, what I would like for you to do, parents or teens, young adults. So when I know we're saying teens, but I want young adults to realize this is also for you. So when I mean young adults, our college students age, so they come out of high school, 18, 19, 20, 21. Because I got two 20-year-olds that will be 21 next month, and I have a 25-year-old. So I'm a grown-up with grown-ups officially. And my son is in the audience. So
yes,
son.
Yes. Twins.
Yes. So Teen Crush Tuesdays, we're going to focus on our teens that are crushing it. So if you're a teen that has a business, you have a talent or a gift, parents, if you got a teen who's just been crushing it out here, some type of sport they are involved in, a different group. My kids were involved in orchestra, band. The other one was in choir. So they did a lot of competitions in high school. So something positive. This ain't just, we posting pictures, I don't want all that, and I don't want all that. But something we want to promote our youth and their beautiful, wonderful talents and how they're crushing it. We got, again, people are struggling during pandemic, online learning. I'm doing online learning right now, and I had a couple classes to do today, so I get that struggle. So we're going to hashtag TCT, Teen Crush Tuesdays. And I have, for a college student, I got a basket I'm putting together for essentials, because I know you guys struggle a lot. You might got scholarships for books and stuff, but you still need your essentials, your laundry detergent, stuff like that. High school students, and I mean high school, I'm not junior high or the elementary, high school students, because they get left out. The high school students and college students get left out the most when they need donations. So because last fall when school started, I sponsored 20 students at Ben Davis High School with a full of those thick binders that they got to have with all their supplies. So those are what we're going to be doing. So send those out. You can email me at blessedasim17@gmail.com to get, and we'll get those posted up for you.
Yeah, make sure you do that. And we want to sponsor our company, Entrepreneurs United LLC. We want to sponsor you a couple of hoodies for those teams. So make sure y'all get those. Yes, it's cold.
Yes.
So we're going to get them some Blessed as I Am hoodies.
Yes.
Gift boxes. So yes, we're so proud of you. Congratulations on everything.
You.
Make sure y'all get them pictures in, because Jessica has some really hot things coming up for this year, 2021.
Thank you. That I am so grateful that you ladies joined in with me on this podcast. Please don't forget to send in your emails. You can also send us an inbox on Facebook and Instagram, Blessed as I Am. That is the handle on both. Also, if you want to contact Victoria, thoughtsofablackgirl.com. What is your, do you have a Facebook page or Instagram page?
Yes, everything is under Thoughts of a Black Girl. You can look up Thoughts of a Black Girl on Facebook, Instagram. It's definitely podcast platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, Thoughts of, and TOABGINC at Gmail is a way to get in contact with me if you have questions, things like that.
Thank you. And Terry, what is your business?
You can contact me at Terry Croney on Facebook, or you can go to the website, soundsofshare.net. I do have a page on there where you can stay in tune with everything that we have going on, and you'll be able to check out the No Longer Broken podcast with Jessica Johnson over on soundsofshare.net, as well as her channel. I'm so excited to join you on this podcast, honey. This is so dope.
Thank you.
So
So again, send in those topics. We'll be waiting for you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
You've been tuned in to the new launch show episode of No Longer Broken with Jessica Johnson. I'm your co-host, Terry Croney. Make sure you get on over to Facebook and Instagram and follow us at Blessed As I Am. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next Tuesday will be part 2 of this special segment. You'll be able to check out episodes on soundsofshare.net.